So in the previous sessions, we practiced the programs on file upload using text files, the files using tab separator, and the files using pipe separator. Okay, the separator is common, like even you can create a program using comma separator or any other separator. The logic is same. You need to split the record at that separator to separate the fields and populate it to the actual structure from raw data structure. Okay, so as we discussed earlier, what are the different data migration techniques? So when we need to deal with bulk data, so BDC means batch data communication. So we use BDC technique to convert non-SAP data into SAP. So what are the different techniques available in BDC?
Call transaction and session method.
So for call transaction and session method, we're going to create a program in SE38, a upload program. Okay, for LSMW, we don't need to create any program. It is just a configuration. Okay, the transaction code is also LSMW, and we need to do some configurations here. That's it. It will upload the data into that particular transaction code. It will create the data. But here there are some limitations, like we can do very limited validations on raw data, whatever available in the file. Okay, also here we don't have any flexibility to customize the logic. If there is only few records, if they like if functional people needs to create some test data, right, with some 10 or 20 records, they are going to use this LSMW to process that test data like that. Okay, if there are very small amount of records, usually functional consultants are going to use this LSMW. Even ABAP developers also use, but not very frequently. Now let's come back to call transaction. So what is call transaction? Call transaction is one of the BDC method. Will provide you the differences between call transaction and session method. So what is the processing that call transaction uses?
Screen processing.
Processing.
Yes,
Asynchronous processing.
both call transaction and session method will use screen processing. Okay, it will just simulate the screen. How we are doing it manually, like when we are creating a material, how we do it manually by going through mm01 transaction and open the screen and select the options and enter the input and click on save. The BDC will also do the same process. It will repeat the same process for each record, right? So BDC follows screen processing. Both the call transaction and session method, both will follow the screen processing, right? But when it is creating the records, what is the processing that the call transaction follows? Asynchronous process to create the records. So what, what is the process that follows by call transaction for data update?
Asynchronous processing.
Asynchronous processing. What do you mean by asynchronous processing?
It will repeat the
Wait for
process
the.
for other records also.
It won't wait for the status of the previous record. It
Yes.
creates the record.
So asynchronous process won't wait for the previous record status. It might be successfully created or failed. It won't wait. It will continue creating the next record. What about session method? Which process it
Synchronous.
follows? It
Synchronous
Synchronous.
follows
processing.
synchronous processing. So session method will update the records, all the records at once, if all the records are processed successfully. If there is any one error, it won't process all the records. Okay, so you can fix the errors, then only the process will continue. Until unless there is any one error, even you are trying to upload 1 lakh records and there is a one error in the one record, so the complete process will on hold. It won't proceed further. Okay. So session method follows synchronous processing. All the records will process at once if all the records are successfully processed. If there is any one error in the one record, it will stop all the records. It won't process all the records. Okay, you need to fix that record and you need to reprocess again. So session method uses session method will generate a session. Where can you handle the session? there is a transaction code. I think it is SM35. So SM35 is the transaction code to handle the session. Okay. So here you can process the records. You can process the all the records created for a session method. If there is any errors, all the errors will be tracked inside the session. Next thing, the next very important difference is call transaction error handling. So it does not contain any inbuilt error handling. Okay. So we need to handle the errors explicitly. Explicitly means we need to implement the additional functionality to handle the errors. What about session method? Uh, so how can you handle errors explicitly in call transaction? For that we have a structure. For that we need to use a structure for error handling. What is that structure? BDC
BDC MSG
MSG
CO.
COLL. Okay, to read the errors. So all the errors will be tracked in this structure. So when you are creating MM01, for example, you did not provide unit of measurement, it will return an error, right? When you click on save, when you are doing it manually,
Yes, sir.
if you missed any mandatory values or mandatory parameters, it will raise an error, right? When you are processing that data using call transaction, for example, in the file for one particular record, unit of measurement is not maintained, it is blank, and the BDC program is trying to simulate the process. And when it is processing that particular record without unit of measurement, it won't proceed further, right? When the system click on save, it will raise a error. So whatever the errors are raised in the screen will be captured through BDC MSG COLL structure, and we can read that message, and we can identify, okay, is that particular transaction is successfully created or not for the particular record. What about session method? Session methods contains implicit, that means inbuilt error handling. You don't need to write any additional functionality to read the errors. Okay, implicit and explicit. Call transaction, for error handling we need to implement the explicit functionality or explicit error handling. For session method, inbuilt error handling. Session method contains inbuilt error handling. Okay, all the errors you can check in SM35 session. Okay, when the session is created. So we have two different methods, right? we have call transaction and we have session method. Now tell me, we have a requirement to convert some non-SAP data into SAP, and your functional consultant provided you a data file, a file with data, and he provided the transaction code details, and you wanted to create a program to convert that non-SAP data into SAP. Now tell me, we have two methods, right? Which one you are going to choose?
Session.
So yeah, why you are choosing session method?
Because it has error handling.
Okay, but it is slower, right?
Yes, sir. But if you're changing the transferring the data in huge session
Huh.
method, it's
So
better.
when you are dealing with a huge amount of data at the time, which method is suitable? Session method.
Session method.
Session method. Okay. So when you are dealing with few records, maybe some thousands of records, you can go for call transaction method. Okay. And that too, if you want to run it in the background mode, if that program executes very frequently, okay, we have to go for session method. Okay. But if you want to update only few less amount of records and you need to process immediately, what is the suitable method?
Call
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 transaction.
transaction.
transaction. So here, do you need to do when you executed the program, all the data will be uploaded or created automatically. But here in session, when you execute the program, it will create a session. It won't create any records in the system. Okay. First, it will generate a session. What is the transaction code to handle the session?
SM35.
35.
SM35 is the transaction code to handle the session, right? Then once the program execution is completed, you have to go to that session and you need to process that session. Until we don't process that session, records are not going to be created in SAP. Okay. Once you process the session, then only records will be created. But when it comes to call transaction, records will be created immediately. It won't wait. We don't need to process any sessions. Okay. Even though there are multiple errors in the file. Okay. For example, there are 10,000 records and there are 500 records with error data in the file. So it won't stop the process. It will create records for those 9,500, right? It will create records, those 9,500 records, and it will only stop those remaining 500 which contains the error, right? So once you fix the error, you can reprocess only that 500 records. Okay. For that, what you need to do, you need to fix the errors in the file for only those 500 records, and you need to re-execute the program with only those 500 records in the file, right? First, you can run the complete file. Once you identify the errors in call transaction, what you need to do? You need to separate those error records from the actual file, and you need to use a separate file to process the error records with only those error records, right? But here in session method, it will process the all records and you can find the errors in session and you can fix the data and you can reprocess the session again. Once you fix the data and you can process the session again, or delete the session, fix the errors in the file and reprocess the complete file. Okay. So you don't need to create a separate file for error records. So you can delete the session created and you can execute the program again to create the new session by fixing the errors in the file. Okay. So what is the transaction code? To implement a BDC program, what we need to do? We need to record the session, right? We need to record the session. What is the transaction code to record the session?
SHD.
SHD.
By using this screen recording, right? Not only for BDC, it will be helpful in other scenarios also. When you need to run some steps, when you need to automate some screen processing, not only converting non-SAP data into SAP. Sometimes we use this screen recording to run some screens to process something, not only for data migration. Okay. Okay. Now, what is the statement we use for call transaction? What is the process to implement the call transaction? What is the statement we use in call transaction to implement the call transaction? Call transaction and T code, the transaction name using BDC data. What is this BDC data? What is this BDC data? BDC data is a structure. BDC data is a structure. What does this BDC data contains?
Errors.
So this BDC data contains 5 fields. They are, what are the fields available in BDC data? BDC data contains field name, field value, program, DynPro and DynBegin. So what is field name? I'll show you when we are creating the program. What does the BDC data contain? Structure contains 5 fields. Field name, field value, program, DynPro and DynBegin. Field name means the field technical name. For example, if you take material number, Matner is the field name. What is the next field? Field value. So FNAM, FVAL. So this structure contains these fields. What are the other fields? Program, you know, program name, right? What is the program name for transaction code? What is DynPro? What is DynPro? DynPro means screen number. What is the screen number we are currently in? And what is the screen number we need to navigate, right? So every screen will have a number. I'll show you. Every screen will have a number. So what we need to pass for the BDC data? We need to pass the field name. And what is the value we need to populate? In FName is the technical field name. What is FVAL? The actual value, material number. Program means the program which we created for the transaction code, which is available for the transaction code. DynPro means screen. What is DynBegin? start point of the screen. Is it the starting point of the screen? We need to pass X for this. If it is a first screen or beginning screen. Okay. So it is very easy. First, only thing is you need to know how to record it. And you need to know how to populate the work area and internal table. So how many of you know how to populate values to work area? How many of you know how to populate records to work area or populate the work area values? No one? Don't you guys know how to populate the work area with values? Just like how we populate field catalog.
No, sir.
How we are going to populate field catalog work area? First, we are defining one work area with type list field catalog and work area hyphen field name equal to field name, column position, medium text, long text, and we are going to populate right to the work area. And after populating, what we are doing? We are appending it to internal table, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you guys know that or not? How to populate
Yes, sir.
values to
Yes,
work
sir.
area?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And do you guys know how to append work area to internal table? Do you know how to add work area record to internal table? Using append, right?
Yes, sir.
You
Using
can
append
add
and
work
also
area record to internal table using append. First, you
append
need to populate the work area and you need to append that work area to internal table.
internal table.
That's what we are going to do here also. We need to populate the BDC data and we need to append that work area to BDC data structure. It's the same process, no difference. Okay? But how do you know what is the values you need to populate? How do you know what is the values you need to populate the work area? That will be captured in the recording. Okay. You need to populate the records as per the recording, SHDB recording. Okay. You need to follow the same values and same steps. It will be very easy once you observed it. Okay. Now, so what is the statement we use for session method? And sorry, I have to mention about the mode. So when we are using call transaction, right? We have modes. In which mode you want to run? All screen, no screens, error screens. What are the modes?
All
All
screens,
screen mode, no
no
screen
screen,
modes, and
error.
only error screens. When you are running the programs, right? Which screens you want to see? Do you want to see all the screens, or do you want to see no screens, or only you want to see only error screens? So that is a mode and update. Mode A, error screens and no screens. And update, what is the update you want to use? Do you want to use Call transaction supports both synchronous and asynchronous update. S or A. You want to follow synchronous update or you want to follow asynchronous update, because it can support both. This is the syntax for a call transaction, and you need to pass BDC data structure. What about session method? For session method, you need to call function modules. They are BDC open group. This is to create the session. BDC insert. BDC insert is to process the record. This is to close the session once all the records are processed. So first we open the session before processing the records, and we process the records using BDC insert. So if there are 10,000 records, how many times we need to execute this BDC insert? For each records, we need to execute this BDC insert function module for each record to create the record in SAP or in the session. Okay. So BDC insert will be executed for 10,000 times. For each record, we need to process this BDC insert. But what about BDC open group? Before processing the records, we'll create a session. It will execute for only once. Once the session is created, and we loop all the records. And inside the loop, we call BDC insert to process the records. So once all the records are processed, after end loop, we are going to call BDC close group to close the session. Okay. Now tell me, how many times that call transaction statement will execute if you are processing 10,000 records?
One.
No, 10,000 times. You're going to call this call transaction session within the loop. You're going to call the call transaction statement within the loop. You are going to loop those 10,000 records, and you are going to process one by one. For that, you need to call the transaction 10,000 times, right? Okay. Because we cannot collect all the data into internal table, and we cannot process everything into the T code. It won't accept. Can you tell me, when you open the MM01, can you enter all the data, 10,000 records data at once to MM01?
No, sir.
No, right? First, you are going to create one record, and if you want to create one more record, again you need to open MM01, and then you can create one more record. Correct? So here also it follows the same process. It can process records one by one, not all at once. Okay. So we need to call this call transaction or BDC insert inside the loop to process the data. Okay. Now let's go to the T code. First, I'll create one material manually so that we can see how it works. I'm creating this material MATS 100. There are two things here. If you provide the material, it will create the material with same number. If you don't provide the material number, it will create the material number as per the system configuration. As per the next available material number, it will create. Okay. If you want to create with specific material, you can also provide like this. Select the industry sector and select the material type. Finished goods. Now click on continue. What it is saying? No external material number assignment for possible for mat type finished. Okay. There is a issue, finished product. Provide the unit of measurement. That is, I'll pass bag. Material group. Provide some material group because it's a mandatory for this material type. So click on save. Looks like someone implemented a enhancement. Someone implemented an enhancement to display this message. And there is a breakpoint. We need to remove all of this before going to process. Oh my God, there are a lot of enhancements here. So anyway, the material is created, I think. Let's check in the table. What is the table for material master data?
Mara.
Mara. Check, is this material created or not? Not created. I think we should disable those validations. Sorry, enhancements first.
Yes, yes.
We'll remove the how can you find the existing implementations of BADI definition?
Where do
There
you
are
go?
many implementations already created, right? Now tell me how to create the implementations created for that BADI. Now I am in SC18. How can I find the existing implementations?
Where do your
Go to implementation
implementation?
overview.
Mara.
Oh my God. So these are all the active implementations created for that BADI. Now we need to delete all of them. Otherwise it is stopping the process. Classic BADI implementation. Delete. So this is another dependency. When we are using BDC, right? There are any custom implementations, they might disturb the BDC functionality. If you are using BAPI, since it won't follow the screen processing, you don't need to come across all these error messages or any custom messages. Deleting all the implementations, you can create again if you want for practice. So we deleted all the custom implementations. There is no custom implementation available now. Let's go back to our material creation. We'll try again. 100. Continue. So observe the steps what we are doing. We are passing the material description, unit of measurement, and material group, and click on save. And it is showing some message field validation class is defined as per, it does not contain any int. So let's try with a different material group. It's not accepting. Let's try with a different material type. In which server we are in? Are we in 2020 or 2021? Let's make sure we are in 2021 server. So this recording usually we create with the help of functional consultants. The initial recording, how we need to execute MM01. Finished product, will select finished product. Continue. So select the basic data, click on continue. Here the screen is different. So let's try this. Unit of measurement, click on save. Do we still have implementations? Go to SC18, check. Oh, looks like I deleted that in 2020 server. I deleted all implementations in the 2020 server. Okay, I deleted in 2020 server. Or maybe let me try again here. If I can create a material. I'm not entering any material number. So there is a customer exit. There is some customer exit available. Maybe enter some material number. Looks like there are customer exits implemented. Provide the description. it's not working. There is some issue with the data. Let me try this in SE 2021 only. It's already opened. Okay, anyway, there is only one active implementation. I'll delete only this active implementation. Remaining all implementations are inactive, right? How am I, how I am able to say that the remaining implementations are inactive?
Active implementation is in the
Oh
color.
yeah,
Color.
that is highlighted in yellow color. The active implementation is highlighted in yellow color. SC19. Yes. There might be customer exit also, right? Let me delete the customer exit also. CMOD. Okay. So this is the customer exit anyway. This is inactive. This is not active. Okay, this customer exit is inactive. So this is not working. So let's try MM01 here. So a screen is opened and I've selected basic data. Click on continue. I've entered the material description and unit of measurement. Click on save. So it is displaying some message. I'm clicking enter. So now the material is created. This is the manual step what I need to do. Now let me record the steps and repeat the same steps for every record, for multiple records by using BDC. So what is the transaction code to record the T code?
SHDB.
SHDB.
SHDB. Go to SHDB. Now create a new recording. New recording. Provide some name. What is the transaction code we need to record?
MM01.
MM01 is the transaction code. Start recording. Enter the material number. So material type is it's automatically populated. Again, these values will also capture. Now click on continue. Select view. I'm selecting basic data view and click on continue. Enter the material description. Provide the unit of measurement and click on save. It is displaying some message. So click on enter. The record is created. Right? What are these? These are the steps. These are the steps which we are used like which are executing in background, which are executing in background to run this BDC. So we need to repeat the same steps for every record. Okay. Now observe. If you observe these tabular fields, what is this? What is this? Program. The program which is executing in background for that screen. What is this? What is the screen
Screen.
number that is calling? So when you open the MM01, what is that screen number? I think that is 60, screen number 60. When you click on continue, it is displaying some pop-up, right, with checkboxes. What is that screen number?
70.
70. The next screen is 303005. Those are the screens, and these are the corresponding screen fields. Now tell me, what are the fields available in BDC data structure?
Field,
Field name, field
field
value,
value, new program,
program, dyne pro, dyne begin.
dynamo.
Now observe this table. What is this? Program.
Bro,
This one,
screen,
screen
Screen.
means dyne pro. You click on F1, you can see the technical settings. Looks like technical settings are not working here. This is dyne pro. What is this start ID? Dyne begin. Dyne begin is the start ID. What we are passing? X, right? Dyne begin means start ID. Dyne begin, start ID means dyne begin. What is this? Field name and field value. So this is nothing but BDC data structure, right? This is nothing but a BDC data structure, correct? We have the same fields, right? Whatever we have available in BDC data structure. So we need to populate up that BDC data work area same like this as it is. We need to populate work area BDC data structure program name equal to this and screen name equal to this, field name equal to this and field value equal to this. And we need to append these values to which one? BDC data structure internal table. Okay. So we are uploading the file, right? I'm saying that we are going to convert file data into SAP, right? So where you are going to pass the values, file values here. For material number, we are going to pass the value from the file. And here, material description, the value is coming from the text file or Excel file, upload file. And for unit of measurement, the value is coming from the file. Now tell me, what are the values we need to maintain in the file? Now tell me, what are the values we need to maintain in the file? We are passing material number, right? We need to maintain material number, tab space. And what is the next value we need to maintain? What are the values we are entering manually when we are creating MM01 like record? What is the next value we are entering? We're entering.
industry sector, industry.
Yeah, first we are entering material number. What is the next value? MBRSH. What is the next value we need to select? Material type, right? ZFIN. What is the next value we are entering in MM01? Material description, right? What is the next value we are entering in the screen? Unit of measurement, right? So these are the values we need to maintain in the upload file to create a material using a BDC, right? For example, there is one value. For example, the unit of measurement is same for all the materials. The unit of measurement is same for all the materials. Is it required to maintain in the file? If the unit of measurement is same for all materials, is it necessary to maintain in the file? No, you don't need to maintain. You can provide that value in the program itself as a default value or as a constant. Okay, you don't need to maintain that unit of measurement in the file. If the unit of measurement is same for all the materials, we don't need to upload it from a file. You can make it as a constant in the program itself. When we take this unit of measurement in the file, if the unit of measurement is different for each material, then only we take unit of measurement in file, or unit of measurement or any field. For example, the industry sector is same for all the materials. Do we really need to maintain that industry sector in the file, upload file? No, you can make it as a constant in the program itself. Okay, so we are going to maintain the records in the file which are dynamic values, right? So we need to upload this file and we need to pass these values to field value fval and for the corresponding field. So here you can see the steps, right? We need to convert all these steps into program. Clear? Here you can see OK codes. What do you mean by equal to enter? BDC OK code equal to this is the field name. BDC OK code is the field name, equal to enter. What is the meaning of this? When it will be captured? When user click on enter button, right? What is the BDC cursor? BDC cursor is the default cursor position. I've executed MM01. Where is the cursor automatically available? Here, right? In material number field, right? The cursor is automatically populated. The cursor is here, right? That is a BDC cursor. In which field you want to point that cursor automatically? So that is this BDC cursor. What is OK code? When you click on enter, now OK code will execute equal to enter. Now these are the values, field name and the corresponding value. How can you know this field name? Material number RMMG1 hyphen material number. The value is MAT01. How do you know that the field name? Click on F1, place the cursor, click on F1, go to the technical settings. This is the table name. This one. This is the field name. This one. So this is the technical field name. Okay. And what is this? This is the value which you are entering, which you are going to enter in that field. For example, like this. This is the value. Field value, FVAL is the value. Okay. This is the industry sector and material type. Next, we are navigating to the different screen. Correct? How you are going to say that to the system? Hey, go to the next screen. You need to populate new program name and new screen for the BDC data structure with these three values. And once it is navigated to the next screen, how to populate the data in that screen? Using a field name and field value, we are going to populate the data. So first three fields, program, DynPro, DynBegin, will handle navigation from one screen to another screen using program, screen number and DynBegin, start ID. Right? What about the field name and field value? These two are responsible to populate the values in the screen. Right? To populate the values in the screen. So we navigated to the next screen. That is a pop-up screen. This is the checkbox selection. We selected a checkbox, right? We selected the first checkbox. That's why it is using this offset 01. That is X. Once we selected the checkbox, what we did? Click on enter, right? When we click on enter, it navigated to the next screen. And these are all the details we populated. So what is equal to BU? What is this equal? What is this OK code? Equal to BU is save. Okay. When you save, equal to BU will be executed in background. Clear? So now we need to convert this recording into program, or there is one more option available. It will automatically generate a program. So by using this recording, it can automatically generate a program. I think we have some option somewhere here. So see, yeah, yes, it's not, there's a different option. You can see this mode, all screen. What is this mode? When you execute call transaction in mode A, this will be executed like this. You can see all the screen processing in foreground. Okay. There should be some option to convert this as a program. Save it, go back and check. Is there any other option? Is there any option available? This is our recording. Yeah, here create program. So it will automatically generate a BDC program for you. It will automatically generate a BDC program. Create program. Provide the program name. I'm saying that it's an automatically generated program. Transfer from recording. Use transfer from recording. Use local object. So it will create a program for BDC by using recording steps. So your program is created. Z demo BDC MM01 is created. Go to SC38 screen. Change it. So this program is automatically created with all the steps. Execute the program. What you can see? What you can see here? You can see two options here. One is session and one is call transaction. Right? Did we write any code here? We did not write any code.
No, sir.
So it is automatically generated this BDC program by using those steps, whatever we recorded. So here, if we select the call transaction, what are the modes we have? Processing mode, no screens, error screens. No screens is for background processing. All screen is for foreground processing. Like when you want to see all the screen process, how the data is populating. If you want to see, you can select A, but in general, we select no screen. Okay. If you want to see the error screens, if there is any error in the record, and if you want to see that error processing, what you need to select? E. So when you select E, it will stop only at the error records. It will start foreground processing. It will start displaying the screens only for error records. Okay. Update modes are, as I said, call transaction can support both synchronous processing, synchronous update and asynchronous update. Which one is faster? Synchronous update or asynchronous update?
Asynchronous.
Asynchronous update is faster. Now, what is the input for this program? What is the input for this program? So it is created the BDC program, but what is the input? How can you pass the input? We need to upload the file, right? We need to upload the file into an internal table, and that internal table data is the input, right, for this program. For that, what we need to do? Go to the program and check. So this is the BDC data structure. So this is the BDC data structure. What are the fields available in BDC data structure? Program, DynPro, DynBegin, FName and FVal. For this structure, we need to pass the data. So it is automatically created a program, but the value should be, see here if you observe, these are all hard-coded values, right? The record which we created, these are all hard-coded. If you observe this, where is material number? MAT 101. But if you execute this program, is it going to create uh, all these material records? If you keep it as it is, if you keep this auto generated program as it is, always it will execute for only one material 101 which we created here. Now how we need to adjust this program? What are the adjustments required? What are the adjustments required for this program? File upload is the one we need to add. We need to upload a functionality to, we need to add a functionality to upload the file and read the file into one internal table, and we need to repeat all these steps inside which one? Loop. We need to loop that internal table and we need to repeat all these steps inside that loop, and we need to pass those new record for every time, new material number in every loop processing, right? Clear for everyone? Now what we need to do? Add a parameter for this program, p underscore file type string. We are adding additional options to this auto generated program so that we can upload the file. So this is the file. So this is the file path, or you can also keep this after this include program. This include program contains those auto generated parameters. You can also keep it here if you want to keep at the end, right? This is the file path. And how can you provide F4 help? Tell me how to add the F4 help file for the file path.
on value request.
At select screen
Request
on value request for
Yeah.
p underscore
underscore file.
file. So now I am showing you how to work with auto generated program. Okay, the next session I'll show you how to create the program manually from the beginning. Okay, but it is easier. Okay, you can change this program as per your requirement. Now what is the functionality we need to call here to add the F4 help in this event?
Tab
We need to call a function module F4
F4 underscore
file
file.
name. This is to add the search help. I'll enable this variable because it's a character type 128, I think, this file name which is passing in the function module. So, and then I'll pass equal to file underscore name. Now what we need to do? We need to upload the file, right? So this is my file. I need to upload this file into SAP. Maybe let me change the descriptions also. 4, 6. If you want to change the industry sector and material type, we can change it. Let me save the file somewhere. I'll save it in the desktop. Our file is ready. Now we need to upload this file. So this open group, right? This is specific for session method, not for call transaction. But this program contains both. What are they checking here? If session equal to X, then only they are executing this open group function module. They are using conditions. If we select the session method, the session method related functionality will work. If we select a call transaction, only call transaction related functionality will work. Now tell me, so this is specific for session method, open group. This is specific for session method. And close group is also specific for session method, right? Because in session method only we are going to call open group and close group methods. So open group, close group is specific for session method. You can observe the condition here. If session equal to X, then only they are executing this. Else, similarly, if you observe call transaction, so that call transaction statement will be executed only when user selected the call transaction. So this auto-generated program handling everything. Very slow. So if you check this call transaction, in the else statement, what they are using? If session is not equal to X, they are using call transaction statement. Call transaction code. So there is a authentication check, authorization check also they are doing. So we'll see that later. But using BDC data mode. So mode they are passing here. So we have some advanced parameter here like CTU parameters and everything. We'll see in the next session. Now observe this functionality where we are populating program details and screen details and field name, field values. This is common for any process. For both BDC session method and call transaction, this process is common. This process is same. Only statements will be different. If you are using call transaction, you are going to call transaction statement. If you are going to use session method, first you need to open the session and you need to call BDC insert inside the loop and close the session. But these steps are common for both methods, both session method and call transaction. Okay. Now upload the file. Since it's a text file, you can use GUI upload. P underscore file. This is the file path. So we need an internal table, right, to handle this data. We need one internal table, right, to handle this data. Uploaded raw data. For that, we need to create one type structure. What are the fields we have? What are the fields we have in this file? Maintain same structure as the file. So this type structure should be as it is like a file structure. First one is material number. What is the next field? Industry sector, right? You guys remember the field name MBRSH, right? What is the type? Is it the same? For material type, what is the next field we have in the file? Material description. What is the field for material description?
NATTX
Next field, unit of measurement.
means
I don't remember MEINS, or you can take any field, okay? So mains is the field name, but I am taking here UOM. No issue, okay? Only thing is you need to take a specific data element. That is important. MBRSH, MTRT, okay, same. Unit of measurement, MEINS. Type MEINS, but instead of unit of measurement, I'm taking field name as UOM. No issue, okay? Now define an internal table, IT underscore data type standard table of TY underscore data. Same structure, right? Just like file, material number, industry sector, material type, material description, and unit of measurement. And if you need to hard code, or if the unit of measurement is same for all the records, we don't need to maintain that unit of measurement. You can pass it as a constant. Okay, clear? Whatever the fields are, they are not same for all the records. Only those fields we need to maintain. Okay, in the file. So pass file type is ASCII. What is hash field separator? We maintain the tab separator, right? In the file. So pass X tab
Yes, sir.
separator. For the tab, what we need to pass? IT underscore data. Same as a file structure. Now data is uploaded to this internal table. Now what we need to do? We need to loop that internal table. We need to loop that internal table and loop. Now what we need to do? We need to pass the values to these fields, dynamic fields. For example, every time it should create a new material number, right? Every time it should create a new material number, right? Here we need to pass the material number hyphen Matner. Here also we need to pass that field name for industry sector. This is industry sector, right? BDC field. And next BDC field is material type. Here also we should pass the data from file, not the constant values. Next, these are all same. You don't need to change anything. This value. Material text is different for each record, right? So we should not hard code it. We should pass it from file data. What is the next field? Unit of measurement, right? We're populating unit of measurement, right? EA. Instead of EA, what we need to pass? Unit of measurement from file, right? What is the field? Tell me the field name.
Means
We should not take mains. What is the field name we have taken in the type structure?
UA.
UOM, right? You have to pass UOM because we defined that field name as UOM in the type structure. If you provided it as mains, you should take mains. But I'm using a different field name, that is UOM. Check the syntax. Okay, there is a typo, the type structure. Check. Activate the program. I'm keeping a breakpoint at GUI upload in start of selection. Execute the program. Select the file. I'm processing it using call transaction. Select the file, BDC file, and I want to use no screens. I want to execute everything in background. Execute. And here we cannot see the screens. So this is the log. So materials got created. I think we observed some issue. It is not triggering for the first time for some reason. So even if I click on F5, it is taking as F8. There is some issue in the system server. So that's why it executed directly. Go and check the table. First time it's not working, debugging is not working properly for some reason. What is the material number? 102, right? From 102 to 108, right? We created MAT 102 to 108. Materials are created, right? Created date is today only. But for some reason, which materials are missing? 4, 5,
6.
4 and 6 materials are missing. Why? Looks like this unit of measurement is not accepting for that material type and industry sector combination. KZ is not accepting. That's why it looks like that is the issue with the data. Let's try again. I'll change the numbers 0, 9, 10. Anyway, material text is optional. Let me upload it again. Execute. File path is same. I'm clicking F6. Oh, now also it is processed. I think I need to select all screens. #21 tab space 22. Save it. Let me process in all screen mode. So this is auto generated program and we are making some changes as per our requirement of file upload. So this is all screen mode. It is displaying the screen. So this is the first screen. It is populated the record, and when we click on enter, it should navigate to the next screen. Click on enter. So select enter. That is the OK code for enter. Continue, and selected the basic data and click on continue, and it is populated all the data. Click on continue. So here it is required one enter, right? Click on enter. One material is created. Now second material is automatically populated. Click on continue, continue, continue. 117 is also created. Now 118. For this also unit of measurement is EA. This is failed for some reason. This is not working. Looks like it's need one more enter. We need to add that step. For this kg unit of measurement, we need to enter 2 times. We need to add that step. If we can add that step, it will create 2 times. Like it will create that material number also. For unit of measurement EA, it is not expecting, but for kg it is expecting. Looks like there is some enhancement or something implemented. Some custom validation is there for this unit of measurement. That's why it is not working. If we add that one more enter, it will work. That is /00. OK code is /00. So this is how it will process. So this is all manual process, right? Similar to the manual process, right? The system is executing on behalf of the user. The input is from file. User needs to enter one by one. Here we are going to maintain all the records in the file and we are passing it to the program. So the program will execute one by one. Instead of manual process, it will simulate the same process. Correct? Is it clear? Now if you take session method is also same. Like provide some name for session. It is the session name. So select the session method and click on execute. So instead of call transaction method, right? Now session method will work. The remaining BDC data steps, right? Populating the data, navigating to the screens, all the process is same. There is no difference. Only instead of call transaction, it will call the session method. That is the only difference. Where you need to check the session after processing the session, SM35. This is the session I have created, right? Test data to process Click on process. So this is foreground. If you want to see the screen process, I'll run it background. I don't want to see any screen processing. It will process the session. So go to in process, maybe processed. It is not yet in the processed. Click on refresh. Where it is? It is in incorrect tab. Why? Because there are errors. Did I change the material numbers here in the file before processing? I'm trying to process the same materials which are already created. That's why it is in incorrect session. Let's see the errors. In the meantime, so this is the error. Double click on this. What it is saying? Material already maintained, right? Again, material already maintained for the second material. So the error is with material numbers. Error is with data. You can see the errors here in the session. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We processed the 7. Double click on the each material number and you can see, go to log and you can see the errors. What are the errors? It raised. Okay. Now let me change the numbers. We are passing, we are passing the new material numbers. Go back. So where is the program? Did I close it? 38. Execute the program. Select the session method and provide test data 1 and select the file. Click on execute. Now I fixed the errors in the file. I'm reprocessing the session. Hello. The session is created. Go to SM35. Refresh. This is the new session created. Process the session. I'll process it in background because I don't want to see all the screens. Refresh. What is the status? Incorrect status. Go to incorrect and check why it is incorrect. There are some errors. 2 records are failed. So we observed, right? For unit of measurement kg, it is not accepting. Correct? It is expecting enter for 2 times. But in the program, it is taken for only 1 time. But when we are recording, we recorded it for EA, right? Unit of measurement EA. For that, only 1 time enter is required. For kg, it is expecting 2 times. Right? If we can add that step, it will work. So what is the error we will see? So transaction error. You have there is some error with unit of measurement kg. Let's try to fix it. What we need to do? We need to fix the errors in the file, or you need to fix the errors in the program and reprocess the session. Okay. If you change it to EA, it might work. Or what is the alternative? Here it is expecting 2 times enter, right? For which unit of measurement? For all unit of measurements or only specific unit of measurement?
Specific unit.
For kg, it is expecting the user to click on enter 2 times for some reason, for some system configuration issue, data issue. We don't know. But it is expecting us to click enter for 2 times. For which one? For unit of measurement kg. Let's see how we can customize the program. This is the OK code, right? For enter /o. Just repeat it for 2 times. Is it for all unit of measurements or only specific unit of measurement? Only specific unit of measurement, right? When equal to kg, then execute the enter one more time, right? I'm adding that condition. Now it will press enter for 2 times when the unit of measurement is kg. Now let me process the data again. I'll create a new session, provide the file path and click on execute. Now go to the session, refresh, new. You have to go to new. This is the newly created session. Process this session, background, refresh. If it is successfully completed, it should be in processed, otherwise in incorrect. This is also in incorrect mode. I think we have already processed. Let me delete these previous sessions. Now reprocess again. Go to log to check the errors. Material already maintained. This is material already available. Okay, this material is already created. Let's maintain the new material. Go to the session. Go to new for new session and process this session. Now we have error in one record. What is this? Which one is failed? I think we did not create a 136 for some reason. Uh, we have not yet entered DAN for the material. So there is a issue with material number 136. What is the unit of measurement? For this EA only, right? For some reason it is not working. Again, this is how we process the session. Okay, and fix the errors and reprocess again. If it is a call transaction, it will update directly. You don't need to create any session and process it. Clear? So tomorrow we'll create a program manually and we'll populate the BDC data internal table, and you can understand the concept how it is working. Okay. For now, so record one transaction code. Try to generate the program, automatic program. So it will automatically generate the code and use the file upload and pass that uploaded data to those subroutines, right? In place of hard-coded values, please pass the values from internal table and try to create any material number. Okay.